Good morning and welcome to GP Video Podcast by Nadia. Today is Tuesday morning and I will be starting my clinic at 11, but because we were talking about dementia, so we are continuing with that. So as you guys know that we are talking about dementia and it's 14 preventative strategies that we could employ in our lives at any age, whether 10s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. So we know what is dementia. Dementia is a condition that is related to the symptoms, related to the parts of brain that affects your memory and your thinking patterns and your behavior. So it occurs with the old age, but it is not a part and parcel of normal aging process. So good news is that we can apply 14 preventative strategies in our entire life that could prevent us from getting demented. And the chances are by about 45% by employing these strategies in our life, we can reduce the chances of getting demented in old life. So, and it's not only old, actually, the risk is that between 2 in every 100 people between the ages of 65 to 69 have dementia. And this risk doubles every 5 years. So by the time you are 90, that risk has skyrocketed to 1 in 3. So what is number one? Number one, we spoke about it and we said that high quality education for everyone and then high cognitive stimulating activities at work and hobbies in the adult midlife and later are very, very important in keeping the brain healthy. So cognitive reserve is made by high cognitive stimulating activities, and that's how we have more proteins in the brain. And once brain cells start getting dead, these proteins help neurons repair themselves and have more cognitive reserve and not get a part of being demented. Number two. And because as we said, that brain is like a muscle. The more you use it, the more powerful it becomes. The more either you use it or you lose it. The more you stimulate it, the more it's going to work. And then the more it's going to work more efficiently forever or for longer, right? Not forever, but for very long. Okay, number two is hearing. Hearing is a very important part. People with hearing loss are at much more increased risk of developing dementia because again, the same theory implies by hearing, you get hearing stimuli that stimulates the brain, and with reduced hearing, those stimuli are reduced and there are more chances of you getting demented. But the good news again is that people who have hearing loss or partial, complete, or some parts of it or have hearing difficulties, hearing aids can help. Research has shown that people who use hearing aids are have much lower risk of developing dementia. So, though hearing loss puts you at the risk of developing it, but using hearing aids takes you down as well. Number three, in the same lines, is vision. So, anybody with vision disorder is actually again put at the risk of developing dementia. So regular eye checkups are very important, and then correcting the vision, whatever the vision issues are, if you correct them. So for example, I have refractory issue and I'm wearing glasses, I'm correcting it. It's not that I'm not wearing glasses and I've just ignored it. So what happens is with the treatment, again, as with the hearing loss, though vision issues will put your brain at increased risk of developing dementia because of decreased stimuli from vision, but correcting vision will again put you down in the risk ladder. Okay, so number one, high quality education and high cognitive stimulating activities at work and hobbies. Number two is hearing loss and correcting it. Then vision loss or vision problems and correcting it. Number four is very important, and it is depression. So people in adult lives, whenever they have depression actually puts you at increased risk of developing dementia. But especially midlife depression, according to the research studies, has a significant link. So people with depression have more than double the risk of developing dementia as compared to those without depression. All adult ages, but especially in midlife, it's a strong predictor. So exact reason of why people with depression are at more risk of developing dementia double the risk, like double the risk of than the people who don't have depression. There are some theories. So we say that in depression, because it leads to less self-care and isolation, and both of which are very important for brain health. So that could be one of the factors. The other possibility is that when people are depressed, their body secretes cortisol a lot, which is a stress hormone. And this cortisol actually can damage hippocampus, which is a part of the brain which is related to memory. It is critical for memory. So there are two theories. One is less self-care and isolation, and number two is overproduction of cortisol, which will then affect hippocampus, which is the memory center of brain. But again, there is a good news. Good news is people who treat their depression both through medications or psychotherapy are at significantly lower risk of developing dementia. So seeking help for depression is not only needed for improving your current mental health or improving your current brain health, but also a critical step in protecting yourself from dementia. So, and you know what? Depression, anxiety are at the moment very prevalent in our community. 1 in every 3 people is struggling a battle. So if we have any symptoms and signs of depression is a very vast topic, and I would be talking about it a lot in my upcoming video podcast. But the reason I wanted to discuss it here was to tell you that how much depression is important as a significant risk factor in developing dementia in old age. So people with dementia people with depression are double at risk of developing dementia in their older age. So seeking help for it, and either through medications or psychotherapy or both, whoever gets help for it, whoever gets treated for it, then again comes down the ladder of developing dementia, and again significantly reduces their chances of getting demented. See you tomorrow.